We go live. Let's go live, like always, right? Around this time, I do my very best to go live. So, again, if you're following the journey, if you see these things, most cases, it's around 11 o'clock. So I mean, we're a little bit early because I got excited, right? But it's around 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock Central Time is usually when we begin. For those who are just joining, welcome. Welcome. Okay. If you haven't already done so, again, the platform that we go over, the platform that I always go over is a platform called GFunnel. Okay. Now, the reason that I always go over it, and I'll send you the link, so you can always gain access. Now, if you gain access to this portion, this version of the link, you're always connected to me. So no matter how large the platform grows, you're always connected to me. Now, why is it important to connect to me? Well, I'm the creator. so it's decently important to, if you want to stay connected. Now, I do have automations that usually push people to be a little bit more connected. But that being said, without further ado, in this specific section, what we're going to be covering is kind of like a journey. So what is a journey? So I want to step back for a sec. What the heck is a journey? And let me move this even forward. Wow, there you go. Now you can probably hear me even better, right? What is a journey? Okay, so this is how I imagine it. And I'll actually bring it back because I don't like it. I actually took the idea from somebody, and I'll explain it. I took it from it was terrible. I'm a stealer. I'm a thief. I'm a thief in the night. No, but there's an idea. And what the idea is, I'll show you. I'll share my screen so you can see. So you actually have a little story. And I'll pull it up right here. Let me see if I can pop it, see if it has it in, and see if there's an image of it. Okay, so little backstory about me, okay? So little backstory about me. I was grown and raised Mormon, LDS, right? I was grown and raised there. And what I found, right, is there are specific processes in which they go and they build to lead you to what would be called the temple, right? So like you gain your certain priesthoods, you do your certain steps, you do certain things to gain to that specific ordinance, right? So, and then once you're there, it's kind of like a more spiritual lifting. It's like, this is in a sense, the house of God. This is like the abundance that you're achieving. This is like the overall goal. Now, the thing that really stuck with me or stayed with me or connected to me was this dream that somebody had. There's an individual in there. His name is Lehi, right? And Lehi has this dream. Now, again, I promise the story makes sense, and it'll resonate, it'll connect, right? So this dream that this individual had was to guide people to a source of abundance. That was the dream. Now, there are details of that dream, right? For instance, there's the path that they go on. There's the steps that they take. There's something called the iron rod that they hold on and they follow, right? There's quite a few things that they do to help somebody reach that, in a sense, that tree of abundance. And if you want like a representation of it, this is like a representation of it. They're leading, they're following this like rod here, and they're leading here. Now, we're not going to talk so much religion, okay? I'm going to talk more at that. The journey. So the journey is this. It's a dedicated path that people can follow and people can hold strong to, the iron rod. They can hold strong to. And the idea is to give them what they desire, okay? So in this case, like in that story, there's this fruit, and it's the most abundant fruit, and that's what they desire. Well, why would people desire it at that time? Maybe they're starving, maybe they don't have all the food, maybe they don't have the abundance there, so it's focused on there. I want you to reverse that and think about nowadays. What's the main thing that maybe we don't have but we need? Maybe it's time, because we had all the time in the world there, but now time kind of became the enemy. It became the next step of influence, right? There's steps of influence. So that being said, what is a journey? All a journey is creating a pathway that resonates with specific people that they can follow to a specific desire. That's it. Very easy, very simple, right? And I I don't know if we need a visual representation. If we do, I'll edit this video and I'll like pop it up. Boo, 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 right? We'll pop it up, right? But it's a path that people will follow. And as they follow that path, what will end up happening is they will reach a destination. They'll reach their desire. They'll reach those things. That's what people end up doing. So now what I'm going to do is to kind of walk you through the journey of how to actually create one, right? Because like, who really, I mean, you can follow one. Like you can come to me and say, hey, Cam, I want to make XYZ money. I want to make passive income. And I'll show you the path to do it, right? But how do you create it? That's a different story. Like, and why it's a different story is you have to get to a certain point where you're mentoring others. And that's where I want everybody to get. I want everybody to get to where they're mentoring others. The reason why, right? The reason I want to get people up to that specific stage is because there's a state of I call it the positive feedback loop. There's a state that allows continuous growth. It's like a virus that continues to spread. There's this growth factor that happens once you teach somebody to create. So it's kind of like the idea of like teaching somebody to fish versus fishing for somebody, right? I can fish for people, right? I do it all the time. That's how we serve our clients. We fish for them in a sense. But what I like to do is I like to teach people how to fish. I like to teach people how to do, because I feel if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like I'm not, like that's how I look. I'm just Cam. Okay, that's how I look at it. So that being said, we're gonna start at point A. I know nothing, point A, but I have an idea, and we're gonna kind of construct what we actually need to be able to do things. Okay, so let's jump in to the platform. So again, for those who don't know G-Funnel is a social media platform that has a crazy awesome affiliate system. And this crazy awesome affiliate system connects to all of the posts, all of the content, all the blogs, anything and everything that's spread. Again, we generate like 20,000 to 40,000 pages per month. so it spreads a lot. So you have a lot to share, right? And if you share, you make money, right? That's how it works. But it is like a social platform, like Facebook. It is like a social platform. Now, this is built on our own server. We're not using a third party or anything like that. All of the stuff is in our own server. And then we have third-party tools. These third-party tools would be like something like Lead Connector or Go High Level. These third-party tools would be like Flows AI, Contract Hub, Bind AI. These are all tools that help individuals grow. Now, we have a membership on here because there's a lot of tools. Most people pay a few hundred, if not a few $1,000s for all of these tools. So what we do is we leverage the masses to be able to mass provide these different softwares at a low cost. That's kind of a business model in a sense. I won't go too depth in it because that's not what today's session's about. Okay, so first we're just going to go to how do I create a journey? What do I do, right? So what I like to start, so first I like to start in the platform. And if you don't know the platform at all, we're adding this get started journey. You just like log in, it's free, right? Free access, free account. You can log in. There's no gimmicky sales. I'm not going to upsell you. I'm not going to do those things. You jump in here and you start using the platform. It does benefit us if you're using the platform. That's why we do it for free. Now, if you want and choose to upgrade because you want awesome software, you can do it. It's all your choice, okay? That way you know the reverse sell, right? But we have something that says getting started. Now, it should follow you around. If it doesn't follow you around, we need it to follow you around, okay? There's a button here. So I like to start in my personal profile. So you have a personal profile, right? You can add stuff. Again, if you're like, I want to get started, we're adding this specific section. This is a getting started journey. So when you come in here, right, there'll be a video here.
Welcome to this getting started module for navigating and growing with G-Funnel.
Okay. The idea is to get you started over the next 90 days. That's what it is. And then there's a module when you get started. You just jump right into a design specific community for that, right? So you can speak to other people who are getting started. You can have your own goals within there, your own tasks within there, and your own modules. We're filling this out with modules so that way you can start, again, learning the entire platform. Again, this is for free, right? There's no like gimmicky upsells or anything. This is just learning We want to teach people digital marketing. I'll explain why. Why do I want to teach people sales and digital marketing? Well, the reason that I want to teach them is because if I build a pretty badass solution, right? If they know marketing and they know sales and they can make money, we become a vehicle. And if I can teach those things well enough, right? Those people will then spread, which then grow our whole platform, right? So it's in my best interest to give you the very best value for like zero, right? It's in my very best interest to do it. So that way you're constantly spreading the platform. Okay. So that being said, let's go back. Okay. So there is a button. You can go, you can get started, you can start learning it. Again, this is free. My goal, I'll be adding tons of different courses. Now, these are courses that usually people charge like $5,000 for and just garbage, right? They're just charging you for knowledge. I don't feel that that's, for me, I feel knowledge is free. Because why? You can go look on freaking YouTube for it or Google it or use AI to find it, right? So that's my opinion, right? So creation should cost, knowledge should be free. That's my opinion. Okay, so now getting started with this module. So I like to start in your platform, in your own personal profile. Now, why? Because most all your tools are here. That's why I like to do it. So you have like your groups if you want private groups. You have your spaces if you want private spaces. Your events if you want private events. You have your blog section. Your organizations if you're managing organizations. Again, we might reorganize this so it's better for people. But organizations, like if you're serving or managing companies, that's where you find it, right? Your videos, if you have certain videos, you'll find them there. Your photos, if you find them there. Again, this is just like Facebook in a sense, just a little bit more options, right? But where I like to start is kind of the goal cards, right? So the goal cards, the reason why, and I'll just show you one of the current goal cards that we're working on. The reason why I like to jump into goal cards, right? The big reason why, and I'm going to edit this doesn't look that good. The reason why I like to start here is because auto suggestion, like if you read Think and Grow Rich at all, have you? Yeah, maybe, I don't know, right? If you've read Think and Grow Rich at all, then you know how, whoops, why didn't that work? Let me just see really quick. Because there's like too much spacing here. Maybe I won't mess with it. Okay. Maybe I will. Because I like things organized. Okay. But if you've read like Think and Grow Rich at all, you'll know that auto suggestion is a key. And if you're like, I don't know so much, is auto suggestion real? Is it really a thing? Right? Auto suggestion is just repeating a pattern. That's really what it is. If you want to know more, I have videos on knowing more about it. I think it is the Perception Hacker's Journey. So Perception Hacker's Journey, I think that it is this. I have articles on it. I have like quite a few things. This is the actual process of it, right? The auto suggestion of how it works. I've processed it out from like your consciousness to your neocortex, your mammalian aspects of your brain, your reptilian aspects of your brain, how they work. I've went through kind of the detailed process. Now this is like very high level knowledge. What I mean by high level knowledge is when you get into some of these groups that cost you $20,000 per year to be involved with some of these groups, or $100,000 a year because they're very exclusive. This is the type of information that you're going to find. This is like that quote unquote secret knowledge, right? And I have courses and sessions on this type of stuff just so people understand how that process works, right? And if you notice, anything and everything that we built, it does formulate into actual creation, okay? So if you want to know that, great, the details, but just trust me, goal cards are important, okay? Fair enough, cool, let's move on. Okay, so now that goal cards are important, the idea here is to structure out a goal card. So what we are doing here, right, the specific goal or tasks that I have involved that I need to track, that I need to look at on a daily basis, right, to be able to achieve it on a daily basis. Hopefully, you know, I'm giving you some secrets, right? On a daily basis in hopes to achieve this, you want to structure it out. Now, if you're like, I don't know how to even structure this out. Well, this is why we're building this section. We're building this specific section to be able to show you exactly how to do it. So for instance, this is the goal. Let me just say that. Sorry, I was doing a little perfectionism. Let's jump back. So this is the goal, right? Create a business with AI employees. Okay? Start by this, right? Description, step-by-step guide. Okay. So let's just say this is it. And so now how did I get this? Right? Like, how did I get this information? It's very well structured. There's questions that I should ask, right? How did I get this? Right? And how can I build, how can I expand off of this? Well, how I got this was pretty easy. When I was starting, I needed ideas, okay? And to get those specific ideas, well, I needed a chat. And this is the chat that I needed. This is the assistant that I needed that's connected to it, in a sense, a CRM. So all I did is I put in my name so it can connect with me, right? So it can connect my account. Now it knows who I am. And I just says, I need help creating ideas for a business. In a sense, this is where it starts, but we're organizing a pathway for people. But this is where it starts. It starts with simply communicating with our AI employee. That's where it starts, okay? Now, the next step from it, it'll come in and it'll create me a task, which it did, right? I went through the prompt, so if you notice, there's some questions that it's asking. I'm just gonna skip that step. It came in and it says, okay, I said I needed a map, like a mind map for creating a business with AI employees. I'm asking it. I'm not using my brain here. I'm asking it, okay? It says, okay, well, here's my task, right? All right, so there's my task. So the first thing that I'm going to do when doing this is, well, what? I'm going to add a task to it. I just created my goal. Now I'm just going to add a task to it. So what is my first task? It just said, well, create a mind map. So we're going to do it. I'm just going to show you how to create a journey. This is a journey, right? So create mind map, okay? The goal, and if I'm like, I don't want to type this, right? I can come here. I can open up a tool. I can go into Bind AI. This is one of our AI solutions. I'm going to do it with a new tab, okay? So I'm going to say www.gfunnel.com, Bind AI. Bind AI is going to take me to our AI platform. Now our AI platform is ready to go. And if I'm like, okay, so I need to write a task. So there's a few ways of doing this. So there's number one as a goal card. Why I say as a goal card, if you're not deep into tech, there's no sense jumping into the project management. If you are deep in tech, then you want to jump into project management. And what I mean by that, I'll show you. So, and there's just a difference. It's what is your route? What do you want to do? What do you desire to do? This is why, right? So now I can come in and I can say, our roadmap, what are we going to do? Okay, and I can come in and I can say, create a task. What is this task, right? And I can come in here and I can say, we're going to create a roadmap. But are we really? Let's jump back, right? What are we actually doing? We're doing this. This is what we're doing. So it's like mind map, create a business that, there we go, okay? So now I can come here and I can put task is this, create a business with this. Whoops, did I kick off of it? Let's see, I kicked off of it. Okay, then I can come here, I can do advanced here. Now why would I do this? It's just if I want pre-built AI, I just use projects. If I don't care about the AI, then I don't use the projects. Does that make sense? So then I would come here and I would say, okay, this is my task. This is what I'm going to be building. I have a central node, right? Let me come in and let me copy this information so I can track it in my task management. That's just if you desire to do, okay? Now I create it. So next thing it's going to do is going to pop up right here. So we have a task number. Here's our log. Create a business with AI employee, okay? We're going to push this guy in progress, okay? Now what this should have done, I'll double check if it didn't do, this would update our main map. So if it doesn't, I'm going to just check. What I mean by that is, excuse me, we have a a logo here. Here, I'll just jump back over here. We have our logo here, and if you click on this, these are like our roadmaps, and there it is right there, done for you business. Okay, already getting some votes on it, cool. So now we have that specific side. Okay, I can click on this, comments, right? And I can come in and I can add different things to that. In this specific case, I'll just update it so this way people know. So we're going to be doing this guy right here. Okay, and I can come in, I can organize this how I desire, but we're just going to use that for now. Okay, so let me log in. I'll just come into our roadmap. We've done for you business. And then I'm going to do a summary right here. It didn't like my structure. That's okay. So there's private messages, but that'll update it. So let's skip time, so that way I'm not holding you on, just updating the platform, right? So what we'll do, again, that will be in progress. So now let's structure this guy out, okay? So what I'm going to do is this, something very, very simple. I'm going to come in, I'm going to say, well, this is the information, copy. Let's just say I don't know how to build my mind map, right? Because why do we want to build a mind map here? Let me reopen it. I feel that when you build the mind map, this is just from everything that I've learned. When you build a mind map of something, this is done for you business creation. I feel if you build a mind map of things, well, number one, you can spit out your ideas. Like, what I mean by that is, like, let's say you have an idea and you're just like, my idea is great, right? My idea is awesome. I think my light's in the way. That's okay. I'll move over here. There we go. My idea is great. My idea is awesome, right? Let me zoom in. Okay, there we go. I don't know if it moved. Did it move? Nope. Let me do it again. Nope. There we go. There we go. Follow me. There we go. The camera wasn't following me. So let me it's supposed to follow me. It looks like it is. So let me just move it this way. I like it to face me. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's lock that in. Okay. But what I like to do is I like to build a mind map. Now, why do I like to build a mind map? The big reason why is it allows you to process out and see the logistics of what you're creating. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do that exact same thing. So now we're here, right? Let me just double check our view here. That's okay. Okay, so now we're here. And again, to access this, you simply come up to your top applications. You click diagrams. Diagrams will get you into your system here. Eventually, I want the diagrams to be built for somebody, but right now it's a good working progress. This way you can build and structure things, okay? So the very first thing, what I need is this. So there's a pathway in which somebody's going to go on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna first draw a pathway, like a line, okay? So there's our journey, okay? This is our specific journey. Maybe somebody will go on this. And now there will be specific, right as of now, there's going to be specific steps, right? So step, step, and step. Let's just do those for easy sake. There will be a processor on the side. So we'll build out a processor on the side, but for easy sake, we have our steps, okay? I do like to put communication on one side, but we're just going to leave that for now. Okay, now we're going to jump back to the specific tasks. Okay, so in this specific one, again, we're building out an AI that will create somebody's entire business. I'm not talking about, hey, you have an AI that creates a landing page or a website. I'm talking about every detail of their business, from idea stage to completion and launch, right? There's a lot of freaking steps. So what we've done is we just kind of organize these ones, right? So we have this one. This is idea generation. So we'll just put it here. Just jump here. First step, idea generation. Okay, what's our second step? Vision, clarity, okay. And we'll have like an intake one, right? Because there'll be an intake. Let's just say that's the first branch. Okay, so this is now the branch of the AI. So we can say these are our first steps, and those first steps are within this branch. Okay, and this specific branch, right, will have its own module, its own action. So again, I'll have this, and I'll just put it out here. And let's just say I don't know what the frig it is. I just have no clue. I'm like, I don't even know. You know what I'll do? I know what it's going to do, so I just say data processor. That's it, okay? Pretty easy. So I know that this is going to have something and it's going to process data, okay? And I know that that's a step, right? Because we have a step and it's branch 1, ideas. So then we're going to walk somebody literally through these. Again, what's the importance of it? Well, it's speed to market is the importance of it. Not everyone, here, let me jump this up. Not only is it hard to build some products, but if you're not speed to market, you lose out, okay? So you have to be speed to market. So that's branch 1. Okay, I don't know why this freaking line's here. Let me remove this line. I don't like this line. Okay, gone. Okay, there we go. That's our first branch. Okay, now we're going to exit this. We're just going to copy and paste this guy. Copy, paste. We're going to bring it down, right? And now we're going to go into our second branch. So our second branch is market research and validation. Okay, so market research and validation, let's bring that down, maybe even down lower. 12, 10, perfect. I'll do this one at 10 too to match. This is our next one, okay? Brand research and validation. So now what we would do is we'd say, okay, what part is that? So we'd have a marketing AI here. So let's just move it. Oops. I'll just grab this whole thing. Copy. Marketing AI. Customer validation. Copy. Okay. Now this branch is in a sense done. Now we would go into our third branch, business planning. Copy, paste. So now this is what our AI, in a sense, will have to do. Okay, so this one is business planning, branch 3, business planning. Business planning. And then branch 4, right? We'll just come here. I'm just going to make it easy. Copy V. Bring it down here. We'll go to number 4, is legal and administrative setup. Okay. And then we have branch 5, which is branding and marketing. And then we'll come in and we'll fill all of the gaps in, right? So I didn't do anything special, did I? I just literally like copied and pasted based off of the ideas in which were given to me. And then I'll go through and I'll validate them to make sure the ideas are sufficient. right? So we're leveraging AI to the most extent, and we're creating with AI. That is in a sense, the value of what gFunnel, the platform, gives, is it gives you all of the tools that you need. Of course, you have your AIs, of course, you have all of those things, but it gives you all of the tools that you need to create a solution. So it's not all about, let's see, copy, paste. It's not all about, oh, that didn't work. Growth, whoops, growth and scaling, copy. There we go, now it's working. My bad, I was not multitasking. But it's not all about like, I need it done for me, I needed this stuff. I can promise you it's worth the investment to create your own. I can promise you that. And if you're like, no, it's not, it can't be. I can promise you that it is. And the reason I know that it is because I went down that pathway of not creating my own stuff and just leveraging what everyone else did. And do you know what I found? I found that people were there for their own benefit, most cases, right? Their own benefit. And if that is the case, their own benefit, what are they going to end up doing? Sometimes they end up taking some advantage, okay? That's why I say build your own. gFunnel is designed for you to do just that thing. It's to build your own. If you're like, wait, but aren't I building something for you anyways? It's like, kind of, you're building it for us. And you're like, well, what do you mean by us? Well, first of all, you have to understand we're all in it together. And whoever says you're in it alone is actually just a deceiver that is going to quickly sell you on stuff. Like, I mean, are you in it alone? I'll say, most cases, no. I mean, you got so many people around you, it's just very difficult to trust people, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go to 4 as legal setup. Here we go, there. But that's why we have the system that we do. It's a big filtering system, and our goal is to kind of eliminate the value takers, meaning the people that are there to just take advantage. Our goal is to filter those people out. If we can do it successfully enough, then you never have to deal with that. And that's our big goal. But here, okay, marketing, that looks good, right? Marketing strategist, and then number 2, we have operation management. Okay, and then coordinator, copy. Right, that was 6, and then we have 7. Pretty easy, right? So now we're building this first, and we'll have questionnaires on it. And the reason that we're doing it first is because when somebody's kind of going down this path, right, we're just building a kind of like forms that will walk somebody through and process this data. Now, there are tools that you can use within our platform. There are tools that you can use outside of our platform. It's kind of whatever you desire to use, but I'll show you which ones I recommend to use, okay? So here, let me just connect all of this to our data processor. Okay, 6, 7. Okay, so this data processor is just going to be there to process data, just like it says. Why are these arrows coming above? I don't like them coming above. That's okay. Okay. So all of this information, let me zoom out now. So now we have, in a sense, a journey that we're going to take somebody through. And all of that information is going to be brought into our data processor. Now, the reason that it's brought into our data processor, so we can come in, we can make these shorter. The reason that it's brought into our data processor is just we want it to collect and process data, and we want to save that data. This way we know what people's intentions are, we know what their goals are, we know what their ideas are, okay? We want that so that way when the AI is there to structure it and to help them build it within the needed software, it can do that, okay? Okay. Perfect. So now we have this. So again, I'll zoom out so you can see. Okay, so again, what this is this is an AI employee. And what this AI employee will do, it's going to take somebody, so think this is the journey. I'll just delete this for now. Let's say this is the person, and I'll just grab this and bring him here. And I'll just show you what it does for now, okay? So this is person. This person will come in, and they're going to come in and they're going to start with this, okay? Then they're going to come in and they're going to finish with this. They're going to answer all of these questions, right? Each and every step, each and every stage of these questions for now. Eventually, once there's enough data and once the processes are done correctly, then instead of this person connecting, so I'll just show you like stage 1. So this is stage 1. Okay, and then I'll show you stage 2. So there we go. That's stage 1. Okay. So now let's just say we're like, okay, well, we want to do stage 2. Then what we'll do is so think of these as like you're a CEO and you're running a company. Most cases you delegate to other people. So this is like delegation. Well, you don't start as a major CEO. Most cases you wear all of the hats. And then you delegate it to a new called employee. This is what would be called an AI employee, okay? From there, eventually, once this process is done, what you're going to do is you adapt your process here. So now you're going to have, in a sense, an AI employee. And I'm just showing you kind of like the future, right? You're going to have an AI employee that it's not requiring you to come in and fill in all of this information. It's just requiring it. So where you, as the person, I'm just showing you the future of it. You, as the person, will come in and submit your idea. Basically say, what's your idea? And then once it answers those ideas, it'll go and it'll connect to all of these different pieces. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Basically what it'll end up doing is you're creating a compound or a leverage effect. But you do have to create the hierarchy to start with, right? But once you have that created, right? So again, this is you as that person for now. Once you have that created, these processes, then you put it in like this. And this right here, AI, would in a sense be an executive assistant. So this is in a sense how you would hierarchy your AI robots, okay? And now you can have your executive assistant, excuse me, process the idea, answer the specific network questions, and then you can have we'll call it a robotic, or RPAs, we'll call it that, robotic process automation. So from this point, you can say, I have enough data, I need it's an RPA, robotic process automation, and I need my workflow automation. And how I would actually start this is like this. I would actually say data processor to workflow automation, and those workflow automations would have certain modules. So this would be a variable module, and that module would be a task-based module. And then that task-based module would then turn on RPAs to go function. Now what this would do, so you understand the whole concept of this would allow somebody at first to gather this information, and then once this specific information is done, okay, then it comes in and it follows this specific guidance right into here. Now, I'll show you the benefit. So this would require some building. One of the benefits that we can do within GFunnel is we can actually build out the full conversational stages. So we can have an executive assistant, and we can say, executive assistant, when somebody asks for a project, I want you to give it to the project manager, and then let's say it activates another bot. Technically, you can have each and every one of these as conversational stages. So now this all comes down to the perception. What do you want this person to experience? Do you want them to say, hey, here's step number 1. You're a CEO, so you're going to imagine yourself doing this. Once you've done enough of these, you graduate, right? That's what we'll build. Well, why? It automatically builds our data. It automatically grows. It automatically does stuff, right? So we'll create a course. We'll call it a course. It's really a guide for people to walk through those things, okay? So it's like, hey, introduction. Imagine you're a CEO or imagine you're an owner and you have to go and address these specific people. We're going to take you through a journey where you're going to do just that. And then we have an introduction. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm an AI. I'm specialized in XYZ. And I'm going to help you with XYZ. So if you'd like, let's start a chat. And then what that chat's going to do is help connect XYZ for you. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Let's begin. Stage 1. Now it's completed. Perfect. You've completed. Go to stage number 2. Stage number 2. Perfect. You completed. Go to stage number 3. Stage number 3. Perfect. You completed. Go to stage number 4. Right? Great. You graduated. 5 more. Right? Create 5 more of these. And then you graduate to an executive. What does the executive allow? The executive allows XYZ. So now you gamify the experience for this specific person because it's all about perception. If you're doing that correctly, right, people now grow with the organization. So anyways, now let's just say we have this. So this is our first one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and I'm going to update this. So I'm going to jump over here, right? I'm going to jump into my tasks, and I'll just say create mind map, and then I'll come here and I'll say, can you help me create a description, a task description for creating a mind map of a process takes the user and you could call those things workshops if you desired. Now, why would you do that? Well, there's actually a value there. Believe it or not, there's actually a value there. And if you're like, well, what do you mean by there's a value there? Anytime somebody is engaging on a specific journey, right? A journey, a pathway, experiencing, and it takes them a focus to do, they're connecting to your platform, right? They're connecting to your software. They're becoming more loyal. They're planting more seeds, which means that their churn is disappearing and the necessity is still there. So done for you is good, but there's no connection. If you do something like a journey, right, the importance of a journey, if you do a journey, so here, let me just jump here. I'll copy that. Okay. And we'll just jump into here, sure. Can you help me create a detailed excuse me. It's not working, that's okay. I'll just do this, summarize this into a paragraph. Sorry, I'm not talking, I'm typing right now. Okay. There we go. You see, I'm not doing that much work. Just typing in these things to get it done. So now I'm going to copy this, right? And I'm going to paste this. Now, why am I pasting it here? Why am I pasting it here? Well, the reason is this. It creates SEO value for gfunnel. So now if I just did that, right, and I just did that, what's our time? Our time is, we're at 11:30, so I'll just put it down to 11 o'clock. I'll just put, it was about 11 o'clock when we started. And I'll just put this one at 11, I'll put it at 12 o'clock. There we go. I can put tasks, right? Let's publish this. So now why am I publishing it here? I'm publishing it here because look, this works as a directory. I have a gold card with this specific link, with this specific, it's now a directory, which then brings value to the entire system. Does that make sense? So if I jumped in here, I have this, upcoming this, I could then jump into here, and I could say mark as complete. Right? And then I can continue. So now I have a step that is completed. So if I came in here, it should update soon. I could then come in and I can see that this has been completed. So now anyone who's following this specific task with me, which again, I'll share the link in the chat so you can see the link, right? So that way you get a little bit of a live experience, okay? I'll put it in that chat, I'll put it in this chat so you get a little bit of a live experience. Anyone who's following me now, right? In this piece, anyone who's following can now see the exact task, the exact goal that we're doing. Now again, do we have a back-end solution for this? Yeah, I mean, this is our project management side, right? I can come in and I can say, oh, well, what was I can fill this in. But why am I putting it here? I'm putting it here because there's SEO value that is given. Hopefully that makes sense. There's SEO value that is given here. And that SEO value, like I could share my link, my shared link on that specific goal. And then I can use it as my affiliate link. Does that make sense? Like I can use it as say, hey, look, follow me, right? I'm doing great stuff. Follow me. I'm looking to influence. Follow me, right? I can do those things. And now if somebody's like, hey, this is good. Let me follow your journey. They follow your journey, let's just say, right? If they do that, oh, that didn't work. Let me comment better. If they do that, then you can get a person that creates their account, which then you can earn money through the system. Now, again, why do we talk about money and business? Because that's what business is. Like, and if you're like, I don't want to talk money, I wish I had one of these systems that wasn't here. We have a nonprofit specifically for that. I'll just show you that really quick, okay? The nonprofit, holyshare.org. Okay, whoops, holyshare.org, there it is. We're building out, still in development, but basically what this one's going to be, let me just log in really quick so you can see it. We'll just go into here. Holyshare.org is, this one specifically will be for charities, will be for ministries, will be for spirituality, will be for, in a sense, all of those things. That's what this one will be. So specifically for that, it's free, everything, specifically for that. And then you could come here, of course, we have a spiritual assistant. Spiritual assistant is knowledgeable on every religion and every book. So that's how we have it right now. But that's the nonprofit. That is the power of this AI. It's not just some small little thing. That's the power of it. So when we're going to build this specific thing, right, we're going to build an advanced module. All of the stuff, we don't need like, what is it, N8N or any of these other solutions. We don't really need them. All we need is gfunnel. That's all we need. gfunnel will do absolutely everything. Now, if we step in, so I'll just show you one step because, again, we're limited on time, but I'll show you one step. If you decide you're like, okay, I'm ready to begin creating. I see the steps. I need to create. So let's say we're ready to create the AI employee. Then what we'll do is we're going to simply click on the link. We'll go to Flows AI. We'll click on Flows AI. And then now that we're in Flows AI, we're going to come in here, right? We're going to say I'm going to click on an AI employee, and then we're going to create an AI employee, okay? We can name this AI employee whatever we want, so we would just press this. We can set up, skip the steps, or we can walk through. I'm just going to skip the steps, okay? Industry, I'll just say is business. That's the industry. Company name is gfunnel. Right, pretty easy. The name, I think we have our AI as Jenna or Emma. Can't remember which one it was. Jenna, Emma. Just an everyday something. I'll just put this, I mean, I can put it as Cam, right? I actually like Cam. Why Cam? Central Automated Matrix. That's Cam, right? Role, and then we can put this as a role. If I was to summarize this AI in a role, so again, we can have it where there's a few things that we can do here. We can have it specifically, this is an AI for building out the ideas, right? We can have that specifically for that. We can do that, okay? We can say, okay, this is specifically for that. We gain another information, go to the next stage, right? We can do that. Or we can have an AI that does all of this stuff. Okay. I like taking people down a pathway. Click next. They feel like they're accomplishing things. But we could build all of that right within here. We can build out conversation stages. We can say, again, let's just say there's some advanced stages within here. Then you just say, okay, well, this is a specific AI. Now, if we're like, well, how do we build this AI? I don't know how to build this AI. What would we do? Right? Let's just say that's the thing. Then we would come back to the specific AI, right? What are we working on? We're working on this one. So I would do this. So I would say branch 1, business ideology, which is called ideology, right? Go to here, copy, right? And now if I wanted, I could come right to our AI and I could talk to it and say, I need help. I would just probably come here and go to new. Okay, and if you're like, I don't want to use this, I like my own, use your own. Gosh, go to, if you want, go to x.com, right? Oh my gosh, they're a competitor of ours in a sense, right? You click on here, and now it's, what can I help you with? I need help creating a bot. Wait, an AI employee. The role, information for the role. Then I can describe what I need. What I need is the following. Or I can just say the following information, variables in which we can set up the bot. The AI employee. System prompt. Conversational stages. Conversational vision. CRM actions. And then our available tools. And then I could come into here, right? And let's just say I don't know, right? I would go through the process. I could come in here and I could grab this information, right? And I could say, well, what do I need here? Right? Won't let me copy and paste it, but system prompt, I could say, I could come in here and I could say system prompt, and I could say, in quotations, e.g, that, in quotations. Right, so now it knows what the system prompt is. And conversational stages, right? I can jump in and I can say, what's the conversational stages? We'll just say problem identification. So I'll come into here and I'll just say conversational stages dot, and I'll just do dot e.g, boom. And I'll just say instructions. Stage. Okay, all I'm doing is just putting this information in and letting it do it for me, right? That way I'm not even doing anything too crazy, so you can see. Okay. And this is vision, sorry. Period. Stage name, there we go. Okay, then I can come here, and all I'm doing is filling this information out. Again, nothing too crazy, right? I can go into the actions. What are our CRM actions? I can say CRM actions. We have these. Add tag, add automation, add pipeline. So we can say, jump back over here. Parentheses, e.g. Add tag, add automation, add pipeline. Available tools, e.g. And I can come here and I can say, what are my available tools? Right? Available tools. Here we go, available tools. I can do human rollover, custom AI, forms. So I just kind of grab some of the stuff. Human takeover, custom AI, forms, calendar, booking, crawl, live URL. I just remove access knowledge base. Cool. I got enough information here. I say the AI employee has the ability to access knowledge base, make calls, text, question mark. And I'm going to actually save this. Okay? So this way, if people want to do it again quicker, they can do it again quicker without me having to come in and do crap. Okay? So now here you go. So now I'm doing it for my entire first piece. I didn't do anything too crazy. Now, again, this is for advanced, I mean crazy advanced AI building. Crazy advanced. But if you notice, I didn't really do any too much stuff. I just change is all I really did. Nothing too much. Okay? So now here you go. So now I can come here, just come up and copy this. Okay. Copy this, and I'm going to put it somewhere. Where am I going to put it? Probably right here. I'll probably put it right here, just so I have it. Boom. Okay. It's dark, so let me just make it so it's not. Let me actually post it somewhere else. And I'll just do it right within our already existing. So again, I can plug it in here, but I'm not building it. I'm just going to structure first. I don't want to build stuff. I want to structure it, make sure my processes are good and are sound before I come in and I do certain things like that. So let me just jump in. I'll just jump into my goals. Okay, here's the goal. So let me just create a task really quick. Add task. Okay, and now I'm just going to paste that. So, and I'll just say create. So there we go. Now I have enough information. Okay, now there's enough information done. So now I can just come right here. Again, put the date here if I want to put the date here. What are we at? We're at 11:50 right now. So I'll put just 11. We probably started at 11:30. We'll just say 11:30 to now, and I'll just put now at 12. Okay. Cool. See, pretty easy, right? Nothing too crazy. Publish. Okay. Next thing. Make sure I didn't save my prompt. That's okay. I'll just go back right here and I'll just make sure that this prompt is saved. Copy. So then I'll just jump right back here to the task. Right? I can jump back here, click here, and I can make a blog post on this. And I can just say AI employee creation prompt. Okay, pretty easy, right? Then we'll just go through and structure this, right? Not too bad. And then again, we can make this look pretty. For now, I'm just going to add that information here, just so I have it, okay? So I'm going to publish that. Next thing I'm going to do is, well, I created the first prompt, right? So now I'm going to create the second prompt. Okay, so now all I have to do is now change this specific side right here. So if I edit this guy, and I'll put it like this. Okay, this branch, I can remove this guy, I can remove this guy, and I can remove this guy. So and this is here, I could say, define the role in which you want right? Pretty easy. So now there's variables there, and I can save this one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this guy, bring it in, right? Copy. I'm going to add it here, paste, boom, right? It's all there. And then I'm just going to go to the next step, right? What was my next step? Let me jump back over here. So I have this one, branch 1. Now I want branch 2 created. I have 7 of these to create. So here's branch 2. I'll just copy this and then define it. I'll just grab this guy and I'll press paste. Pretty easy, right? Boom. There you go. So now I'm leveraging their tools on this specific side. I structured it pretty easy, right? I structured it very, very easy. And now I can now do this. Objective, guide entrepreneur to validate their business, XYZ. See, it now knows exactly what to use. Goes over the stages that I need. Okay, this should make tools. Okay, now I'll just come up here. Right, we have the whole thing. And I'm just going to copy it. See, copy it. I'll come right back to I'm right here. Right, I'll add another task. So again, we have this task, goal, blog post. We have this specific one, create that. So now I'll just add another task, paste. Right, here we go. I'll just say create that. Okay, and now I'm from, again, we'll just put, it's 12 o'clock to, I'll just put to the end of the day. That's fine. Okay, publish. Pretty easy, right? Now we'll just go to the next one. So I'll just come here, again, grab this prompt, copy, come over here, paste, right? All I'm doing is now copy and pasting. What's my next step? My next step is, I just did this one. Now my next stage is branch number 3. Again, I'm only creating these for the specific journey of it. So now I can come right here, right? Move that, paste that, and go. I have enough information to build it. Now again, can this be done in the AI itself? It can, right? It absolutely can. It absolutely can. You can go through the prompt steps. This is just kind of like a more precise step. Does that make sense? So now, again, once this is constructed, then I'll go and construct the AI. Once it's constructed, then I can copy and paste it. Now it's generic. So I'm just doing this as more advanced. So if I was doing this for somebody, this is like the most advanced you could probably get an AI agent to be. And if you notice, I didn't do anything too crazy, right? I didn't do anything too crazy. So again, add task. Okay, not bad, right? Again, 12 means we're getting a lot of work done, right? And that's the key. There we go. I'll put a little reminder in for me. Paste. Okay, so now that is another stage. So let me jump back. So we have this one upcoming, this one upcoming. Again, I can build out those stages. I might rename them for the stages so that way we have it. But I'm just going to do the same thing. Copy, paste, right? What did we do? We did for business planning. So now we're going to come right here. What did we do? If we did for, I think that was number 3, business planning. So now we're on number 4. Copy. Just make sure you have the right information here. Paste. Okay, perfect. And then submit. See, why I'm using Grok on this one. Grok's a good tool, right? Like, we had this, I'm using their data is really what I'm using. So, and then while I'm here, I can, of course, explore. So one thing that they do well that we'll be adding very soon is all of the different videos, right? Because people are visual. People get their visual addiction. We'll just call it an addiction. They get that. So we'll be doing that shortly. We'll be adding a video section for streaming. We'll be adding a video section for kind of all of these things very soon. Okay, let me copy this guy, mind map, create a task. There's my task. Copy, and I'll say create that. And which one was this? This was, I'll just do it right now so I have it done. This was for, oops, yeah, I'll just do it after the fact. I think this was step 5, but I'll just do it after the fact. Okay. See, we got a lot of work done, right? So far. If you're like, well, that's just data. Well, you'll see. Again, how long has it taken us? It hasn't really taken us too long. On this specific just task that we're building out, this will be one of the most advanced business building AI employees on the entire market. And it didn't take me much of an effort to build that, did it? I don't think so. Right? That's just me. I don't think so. Let's do branch number 5. So we're on branch number 5 now. And it's all just because we structured it. We structured it in a way, and what that did, that structure, allowed us to replicate the task very, very easy. Okay. Now, it's not about, oh well, I don't want to do any work. I'm lazy, right? I mean that happens, right? But the reality is, you have to do some work. You have to create some stuff. But once you create it, I mean, you can sell these as subscriptions. Like, I can come in and I can sell this thing, like, because if you know, if I build a business for somebody, that's like 10 grand. That's a lot of freaking money, right? That's a lot. Well, if I could build a business for people, and I could do it over and over and over again, and it's normally cost 10 freaking grand to build. Do you think that you can do the same thing? I mean, first you could do the same thing easy, right? Because I didn't do anything too crazy. I built probably the most advanced AI employee for business creation on the entire market. That's the craziness. But if you notice the steps that I took, I really didn't, I didn't do anything extraordinary that took me a special skill or a special anything. I just literally copy, paste until it's done, right? Because you do need to do that. And I added each step here. So if you're wanting to know, well, I want to know this specific thing, like what happened? Like I want to see it, right? then come see it. I shared you a live link. Click on it and you can see literally the instructions of the bot, right? You are Brand Spark, a brand, cool. It gave its own name. Perfect, I don't care. I mean, I'll go back through it, right? I'll go back through to make sure it's good. But how many projects did we get set for this amount of time? Again, I'll put my reminders in. How much SEO did we build? Again, I just created multiple unique pages for this, right? That one was branding and business. I created how many, on just the directory itself, how many pages did I create off of one goal? Crazy, right? Here, let me copy this. Again, you can come in, you can copy all of this stuff. I have the module here. Just grab this guy, copy this guy. I use Grok because Grok's good, right? You can use our AI if you want. I just use Grok, right? We have our AI here. It's just, I wanted 2 pages open, and Grok's just easy for you to use. Plus, I get to use their data, which is kind of cool. So now I'll do operations. So I'll go branch number 6, and then we'll go into branch number 7. Here's branch number 6. So I'll just grab this, define what you want. I'll remove that, define what you want. I'll add that there, and I'll simply go and create. And then it'll basically, do you have enough information? I have sufficient information. It builds out my whole, the entire bot that I need, right? Here's my role that I need, my objective that I need, my personality that I need, my purpose that I need, right? About the company. This is already about my company. This is the executing guidelines, right? This is the FAQs, so understands the FAQs, right? So understands absolutely everything. And then once it's done, look, it's done already. Okay, now I scroll up. Again, I didn't do things too crazy. Let me grab this guy. I'll come down here. And if you notice the amount of true work that I just did, so I copy this, I'll come here, I'll create a task. You can come in, you can sponsor this if you want. Yay. Okay, I'll come here and I'll say create this. Okay, from here at 12 o'clock to, and I'll just do 6 o'clock, make sure it's done. Right, I'll give myself reminders so it notifies me in my own system. There we go. Okay, that's number 6, and then I just do, I think the last one, number 7. So again, copy this, copy, come up here, paste, come back here. Right, not doing anything too crazy. We just did operations. So we'll jump into our business growth and scale. Copy, come here, change this guy, and paste. So I'm just literally copying and pasting, putting data back and forth. That's all I'm doing. So I have sufficient information, it'll go and it'll build that stuff. Now, again, setup, I'll just have to kind of verify certain things, right? Like what should I do, how should I do those things? I'll verify it, right? Just to make sure that it matches everything and anything that I need. So I'll verify it. But other than that, I mean, we're almost done with this task, right? We're done with the information gathering aspects of it. So again, how do I create a journey? Again, I'll show you. So I have sufficient information. So I'll grab this. Whoops, that was the wrong information. Growth and Scale AI, yep, that's the right information. Copy this, bring it here, add a task. Bring that task here, grab this title. I don't know what this is right here. Boom, 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 boom. I'll just say create. Okay. From here, 12 o'clock. Now again, all I'm doing is creating a system that I can replicate and replicate and replicate. And what this will do for me, and what it'll do for others, is eventually it'll be just structured in such a way, right? Because we have all of the tasks done, right? So now I could come here. I want to go to business and money tasks, right? AI employee. Now I can click here, right? I can see again, just on, oh, this is my thing. I have about 4,000 people that are following on this. And come on in. They can now see this specific task, right? And I'll just kind of come into here. Can you help me create an article for this? The goal is went over so far. Now I'm just going to have it do an article. I'll update this task. Okay. I'm going to show you a few different things. See, like it at Grok.com. Thanks, Grok AI. Okay, I'm just going to come here. I'm going to copy this guy. Copy. I'm going to kind of expand this just a little bit, right? Because I have a blog post. If I come here, there's no blog post there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually create one. So I'm going to come here and I'm just going to create my own blog post based off of this. Okay, I'll just come here and I'll just paste that guy. Copy, paste. Okay. Alrighty, there we go. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit this. Looking to follow. I'm going to copy this. Bring over here. I'm going to come back over here. I'm just doing a few different things to kind of interconnect some data is all I'm doing. Copy this. again, we have text here. I would probably just put a few links into here just to ensure that we have some internal links going out. Okay. That's fine. I don't want to overlink it. Okay, cool. So now I just link it here and then I just publish. Let's just make sure it's organized correctly. And this I would put in business, right? And now I just publish it. Now again, I can of course manage my own blogs and everything through here, but now we have an article, right? With information, so somebody can come in, of course they can come in, they can see all the different blogs and stuff here. But now we have this, so if somebody's like, I kind of want to see what's going on there. We now have an interconnected link of this whole thing. Say perfect, and I'll just do this. Perfect. Now, can you help me write this as a personal goal? Okay, I'll copy this, right? Because then I can come here. See how much content I got on this though? Like really? And I'm just actually going to come here, boom. Okay, and then copy. See, crazy? So now we have a task done, we have a goal done, we have a crazy advanced AI employee done, right? Now the only thing that we have to do is kind of build and connect it. That's really the only thing that we have to do. So I could come here and I could, again, I could write a whole blog. So I'll just do this. I'll say, help me write a blog article. The goal of this blog article is to introduce and explain the blueprint and diagram that was created, how each stage interconnects, and how the data processing works. And then I could come in, I could do that. I'm just going to have it do that, and then I'll add my link there. Okay, so here it is. So now again, I'll show you what we have done. So once this is typing in, what do we have done on this so far? And I'll just kind of show you. So first we have a blog article. So if I'm in here, so let's say I'm a user, right? And I jump into feeds. So I'm a user. First I'm going to see this new blog article for me, right? So now we have thousands of people that just saw this blog article. Now I click on it, right? There's a complete blog on this. Now somebody can come in, they can read it and say, oh, this is interesting. I'd love to see it. They can then come in, click that, and they can now see it. Now here's the specific blog. Here's the specific tasks in mind, and they can now jump in and say, what? Let me just see. Create this. They can just see this. System prompt, facts. That's it. I can put even a summary up here say, summarize this, please, right? But now I want to show you what we have. So first we had 1 page created. We have 2 pages created. This is 2 pages created. We have 3 pages created, 4 pages created, 5 pages created, 6 pages created, 7 pages, 8, 9, 10 pages created, right? We have, 9, 10, 11 pages created, right? So we have 11 pages created. Now let's say I'm in here, and I say, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, right? And I comment, oh, this is interesting. Another page is created off of each one of these, which, if you can look, we start having a structured blog and directory based off of content that's created, which helps the platform itself rank even more. Okay, we'll edit some of the perceptions and stuff here, but that's it. Now I can jump in, I can have this task, I can have overview. Well, look, here's another page that was created with this overview. So there's 11 pages created, right? 11. Each one will have its own comment. Each one will have its own section. So now we have 11 pages created plus extra. So we'll end up having about 40 pages created. Like if you summarize everything that we did, we'll end up having about 40 pages created. I could even bring this FAQ section, right? Because it looks kind of squished. I could bring an FAQ section that's down at the bottom. And if I do that, again, so many pages are created based upon FAQs. That's just one side of it, right? The next side of it, so let me just grab this guy. Okay, I can grab this guy, I can come in, right? Copy. I can jump right here. Again, I would highly recommend go through it. I'll go through it, but not right this second. I'll end up going through it. But now I can come in. Okay, let me click that blog. I'm in here, make a blog post for it. Okay, and I can just post this. X, boom. Okay, now I can come in, I can grab the blueprint that I did. So now this is the blueprint that I did, right? I can come in, grab this guy, share it. Okay, I can put an open link so anyone can see this. I mean, I can keep it private if I want. I can copy this. Now I can bring this right back here, right? And I can bring it here. So I can then come in and I can say, let me add this in. Boom, right? The blueprint. So now somebody wants to access the blueprint. I can put it, I'll probably put it in a few different links here, right? So this way people can see the whole project, see all the tasks, see everything. I just did this live for everyone so everyone can see. Again, this is probably one of the most advanced, it will be probably one of the most advanced AI employees. Literally, it will create your own business for you, right? That's how advanced it is. But if you notice what I just did, I just created a bunch of content for us, as well as all this stuff. All this stuff can be done within gFunnel. And now, again, let's just say I'm a user. Each and every page is now connected to me. So if I share those things, I have a referral link, I get paid for sharing. Who wouldn't come here and share this? And I'll show you. Let's say I share this. I just simply click. I come here. Right? Who wouldn't do this? So let's just say, this is my new goal. This is one of my new goals. I recommend the read. It will show you how I structure advanced AI. So let's just say I do that, right? AI employees. Okay, let's just say I do that. Simple share, right? I could put a hashtag here, hashtag, and I could put AI. AI for business. I could put another hashtag, hashtag AI employee. Okay, so let's say I did that. I can then share this, right? And there you go. I now did a post, right? People could come and see it. I could even boost it or market it if I wanted. It shows people the task, it shows people the information, it drives people traffic. And if somebody comes in and let's say they click on this, so they click on this, they're going to see everything. It now tracks them to my specific link. I get credit for it, and people create their account. Right? I might space this guy out. Let me just check real quick. That's okay. But you see what I'm saying? Like, so many different pages created, so much different information created, and now I just gave that knowledge to everybody. Now this, like, because you could do this too. You could create a blog like that. And the more value that you create, the more engagement you're going to get, right? So now I just did this one. Boom, boom, right? Added a post, added a goal. I just did this one. People now see this and they decide to click on it or not. And if they decide to click on it, I gain authority based off the value. Again, boom. Wow, this is engagement. This is kind of cool, right? Click on that. Wow. I can see all the tasks. I can see all the tools. I can jump in. Are there blogs on this? Oh my gosh, there's blog posts on this. Right? We can come in, we can organize it better. I'll probably end up doing that. But now we can come in and let's say your goal is to get sponsors. We could technically put a donation piece here. Right? And now people can sponsor your goal. They can pay you money for sponsoring your goal. That's the power of the system. Okay? So anyways, I've been doing a live for about an hour and 30 minutes. I need to jump off. I need to jump back into progressive pieces. But I just wanted to show you the power of that. Now, the reason why I want to show you that power is because now you can absolutely use it. You can absolutely do it. You can absolutely benefit from it. And you can grow from it. So that being said, if you have any questions, okay, if you're like, oh, no, again, there are still steps of this journey. I will create a page, and I'll have each and every pages. Like, if you want to know the simple steps, it's just as simple as, let's say I'm now ready to create that journey. I come in here, I jump into learning, and then I create my course. That easy. Introduction, and then I take them through specific steps. That easy. And now I have a specific journey in mind. Okay? And we'll be working on some of the UX just to make it match some of the things that are in the market already. But this way, again, you can come in, you can have these specific things, right? And you can grow and build yourself within our own platform, but you're growing for you now. That's the key. So that being said, if you don't know me, my name's Cameron Garlick. This is our creation. It's pretty awesome. You should probably create an account. It's pretty awesome. Go do that. My suggestion is always to go start building out your goal cards because they're very, very important. But if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Thanks. We'll see you. Bye.